several times.
What about the Via Vera?
I don't know that.
It's nice.
Is it quite
very
new?
nice? No, it's old. It's
Well,
very
where
old.
is
It was Teddy Stauffer's. It's, I would say right on the, you know where Las Brisas is,
Right.
really on the outskirts.
Yes.
Where as you come closer to town, really an old private little villa.
Yeah, I love that. Well, that's the thing about Las Brisas.
I've never stayed
Okay,
there.
Bobbie, count up 3 or 4 yourself, take your thoughts, and you're on.
Okay. Well, Farrah, first of all, welcome back to your home state, Texas, even
Thank
though
you.
this is not your hometown. It's really nice to have a chance to talk with you.
Thank you.
Now, we had the story a little while ago that you just wish to be called Farrah Fawcett, but in the movie you are billed Farrah Fawcett Majors.
Right.
So, which shall we bill you for this?
Either one. It doesn't really matter. Fabergé had asked me to do this for some continuity in advertising because my product, the shampoo and conditioner, is just breaking in Egypt and in Israel, and there's a little bit of confusion. I mean, everybody in this country knows me as Farrah Fawcett, as Miss Fawcett, as Mrs. Majors, everything. So, but you get into other countries, Spain, and you talk about Mrs. Majors or Farrah, and there's a lot of confusion. So I'm doing it for the product, but I'll still be called Mrs. Majors, I'm sure.
Did the name change, Farrah, have anything to do with the story which just broke that you and Lee are separated?
No, we made this decision actually when I was in London filming Saturn III, a couple of months ago, because there was some confusion even in London with my name.
A separation has to be a difficult thing to talk about, Farrah, but will you appreciate my position as a reporter that I have to ask you about it? You have cited, or at least the story has cited, career differences. What does that mean, really?
Well, I hope you understand my position. It's just too new. I can't really talk about it. I mean, the whole, you know, as a woman and as somebody going through a difficult situation right now, I prefer not to talk about it.
Is there any hope for reconciliation?
Oh, yes.
Have you seen this coming, Farrah, for some time?
I really don't want to discuss it.
And that's it?
Yes. Well, you know, I care very much for Lee, and he cares very much for me. And because we value what we have together, we've never really discussed anything. I mean, that is our private life, you know. So I don't intend to start doing it now.
Farrah, you've said it's a difficult thing, and I appreciate that. I'm married too, and I can well appreciate what you're going through. But are you going to be able to cope with it, or are you at a stage where
If people continue to ask me about it, after I've asked them that I don't want to talk about it, no, because it's difficult. So can we go on and talk about the film?
We can, Farrah.
Okay,
And
thank
you for at least giving us that much. Your role in Sunburn, it's a caper, and it's for fun. And I think some people are going to look at it and they're going to say, well, I'm glad it's this kind of role because it reminds me of what she did in Charlie's Angels.
Right.
Now what would you say to people who say that to you?
Well, with my first film, I wanted a definite departure from Jill in Charlie's Angels because I am an actress. I wanted to prove that there was something else to Farrah and the actress. So I fought very much against, you know, anything the same as Jill. Now I feel a little more freedom. I feel that the critics recognized that I could act with my first film, and so now it doesn't bother me to go back and to do what comes naturally to me, which is comedy and being very light and wearing clothes well and having a lot of fun with the role. So that's what I did in Sunburn. And I think that even though the critics were happy that I did it, and probably some people in the industry, with my first film that I made that departure, my fans were a little disappointed, so I think they'll be happier with Sunburn.
Where is your career at this moment, Farrah, as you look at it?
Oh. Well, let me see, how can I explain it? From what I feel about my career is that even though I've been in the business for about, I would say, 9 years, I feel like it's just the beginning, and maybe because it's now becoming very rewarding. I think films, personally, for an actor or an actress, are much more rewarding than television and commercials. I mean, that's all great, and I was very happy when I was doing it. But when you get into wanting to perfect your craft and really wanting to stretch and grow, not only as a person but an actress, then it becomes a little more self-satisfying, which is where it is now.
Are you saying then, Farrah, that you're really enjoying your career? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. It's become more fun. Mm-hmm.
As you look back, are there any things, if you were doing it over, any things you'd do differently or change?
No. No, I'm sure that people would analyze that, and I have people around me who say that, oh, we should have done this or we could have done that, but I wouldn't. It's like your life. I think most people say, I really wouldn't change it if I had to go back and do it again. I mean, sure, I made mistakes, but I think that's the way it was meant to be.
As you look at the future, do you see any major turning point for Farrah Fawcett? In other words, let me give you an example. People said about Anne Margaret for years, oh, lightweight, you know, and then she, boom, you know, she did a couple of things, carnal knowledge and things that just turned people's heads completely and turned her career around. Do you see that kind of thing ever happening to Farrah Fawcett?
Yes, I do. I think that I will probably, hopefully, do more dramatic, more demanding roles. And I think that then people will be surprised, as they usually are when an Anne Margaret, somebody who's more of a personality, does something like that.
Do you admire the way her career has gone, and would you like to see your career go that way?
Let me see. Oh gosh, no, not exactly. And I can't think of any reason except that I would rather do it my way, which whatever my way is, I won't know for a couple of years. But I don't know. I've never thought of patterning my career after someone else's. No.
Well, Farrah, we hope Sunburn's a big hit for you.
Thank you.
You have been very charming. We thank you so much for talking with us today.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, you ready? Farrah, I know it's difficult for you, and please appreciate that sometimes it isn't easy for us either. But if you can put yourself in my position, maybe you'll understand that I have to ask you about this. Had you seen the separation coming for some time? Second question. Farrah, I think when a lot of people see Sunburn, they're going to say, oh, that's a character very much like she did in Charlie's Angels. What will be your response to people who say that to you? Okay, okay. All right. Has the separation then been the reason for the name change? Okay. All right. All right, one more question. Are you going to be able to cope with this? Okay, why don't you just finish out then on 2 shot, just establishing shot, and we'll just be chatting. When John was there, he was there just for a short time, wasn't he?
Well, I think he was there, and then he left, and he came back.
Yeah. When you were doing the underwater scenes, did you do them in a tank?
No,
No.
did them in the water there. It was very rough.
Yeah.
It was difficult filming those.
I can imagine. Frightening?
Frightening because I had no mask on and the
Yeah.
guy did. And
Are you a really good
can't
swimmer or just
hold your
kinda?
breath that long? I mean, they were filming, and then for what air I did come up and get,
Yeah.
it was frightening.
Yeah.
I'm very good at swimming, but it was frightening.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
scared.
it looks so real that I thought probably you had, maybe there was a tank, but then somehow I thought
No.
maybe you had done them
Yeah,
in
we
the
did
bay
it.
there.
We did it there.
Okay.